Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. The post-payback edition of Monday Night Raw has just concluded, and I have to say that Raw this week was a hell of a show. One of the best Raws of the year in my opinion. A very eventful Raw. I got a lot of questions here, so let's get right down to it. By the way, you can submit questions formspring.me/AaronRift. First one today comes from AIC1993. Ola, Aaron, what did you think of the ending of Raw with Brock Lesnar and CM Punk? It was definitely a huge shocker to see Brock Lesnar come out there at the end. I figured that Brock Lesnar was going to be coming out at some point. I didn't think it was going to be tonight, but I figured the seed was planted earlier on the show in a backstage segment. You had Paul Heyman and CM Punk said that I don't need you interfering in my matches. Brock Lesnar needs you interfering in his matches. At that point, I figured, okay, this is going to lead up to Brock Lesnar coming out at some point and getting in CM Punk's face. So I figured it was going to happen. I just didn't figure it was going to happen this soon. But WWE ended this Raw on a very high note. And I was sensing that something was going to happen at the end of the show. I thought that just having Del Rio walk out and get counted out or whatever would be a bit of a letdown for an ending. So I was sensing something might happen, but I wasn't expecting Brock on the show tonight, and that was a big surprise. And it looks like the next feud for Brock Lesnar is set. Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk, and it's looking to be at SummerSlam, the next big match for Lesnar. And I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there at Staples Center, and should be a hell of a match. Hopefully the best Brock Lesnar match since he's come back. If anybody can get a high quality match out of him, I think it's CM Punk. So very much looking forward to that one. From WWE Fan 5. Hey Aaron, what did you think of the Mark Henry and John Cena segment on Raw? I loved it, and I mean loved it. It was so well done, and Henry got me, and I'm guessing everyone else fooled. I'm not a fan of another Cena and Henry rivalry, though. I thought that was a tremendous segment. Mark Henry came out and basically did a fake retirement, and a lot of people bought it. I wasn't really sure what to make of it. I mean, I've been hearing various things throughout the day about the Mark Henry segment. Was he really retiring? And I sensed that it was going to turn into some sort of angle and that Mark Henry would be wrestling at the pay-per-view, not necessarily against John Cena. At first I thought, okay, maybe Big E Langston will come out and they'll set up that kind of match. But no, Mark Henry laid out John Cena, and he fooled everybody. He fooled a lot of people. And it looks like they're going to be doing John Cena and Mark Henry at Money in the Bank as the main event. I thought Henry was tremendous, extremely convincing, and everybody was chanting for him in the crowd. And then they still chanted, they still cheered for him after he laid out Cena. They were yelling, "Thank you, Henry." So, it was just a really entertaining segment. The best fake retirement segment I could recall since Scott Steiner did it way back in 2000 when he joined the NWO Black and Silver group. I remember really enjoying that segment, and this might have even been better because it's leading up to a pay-per-view main event match. Now at the end of the day, it's still John Cena versus Mark Henry, so I don't know if it's going to be all that good of a match, but I really like the build-up for it so far, and this was one of the best segments on Raw, perhaps of the entire year. This one comes from Scottness89. Hey Aaron, huge fan. Antonio Cesaro is now under the guidance of Zeb Coulter. Are you as excited about this as I am? Where do you see this going? Please answer in the video. I'm happy for Antonio Cesaro. At least it's something for him to do. He's kind of been lost in the shuffle in recent weeks, and now with Zeb Coulter as his manager, that will at least give him a role and it will give him some sort of purpose on the show and some sort of storyline direction. So I'm happy for him in that regard. And when Swagger comes back, maybe the two of them will form a tag team, or maybe they'll form a little faction. I'm all for it. I'm glad that WWE is in fact doing something with him, and maybe he'll get a renewed push now. We'll just have to wait and see. This one comes from EHWFHOS. Hey Aaron, now that Christian returned, do you see him having a rivalry with Curtis Axel and possibly winning the IC title? Please answer in video. Well, based off of Raw this week, it looks like Curtis Axel and The Miz are going to continue feuding for the time being, so I'm not really sure where that leaves Christian, but really cool to see Christian back finally. I mean, now I won't have to worry about getting the questions every single week on Formspring. When's Christian coming back? What's the deal with him? He's finally back, and the fans were very warm with his, gave him a very warm welcome, and it was really cool to have him back on Raw. Another fun moment, memorable moment on this broadcast. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with Christian. I do see him perhaps maybe SummerSlam doing something with Curtis Axel. I think that would be a great way to help elevate Axel, have a match with Christian. Christian could definitely bring out the best in the younger talent, and that would be a terrific match for SummerSlam. All right, this one comes from Reset Wone 5. Hey Aaron, first timer here, I can tell because I've never seen that username before. How would you rate the booking of Ryback since his debut and Ziggler since cashing in the briefcase? Thanks and love the Endeavor t-shirt. Oh, thank you for that. And it's very cool, by the way. So if you're ever in Southern California, make sure you go to the Science Center and check out the Endeavor. But moving forward to the question here. WWE did a tremendous job with Ryback up until Hell in a Cell. And from that point forward, they've really dropped the ball with him. Obviously, he had to lose at some point. He can't just win every single match. But the way they had him lose, and he's actually gone on a losing streak now. He's the anti-Goldberg. Instead of winning matches, he loses matches. It's really hurt his character a lot, and he was not on Raw this week. So I'm not sure what they should do with him at this point and how to build him up again because, he's lost, 8 pay-per-views in a row now that he hasn't won a match. That's pretty bad. So, yeah, they have definitely dropped the ball with him. And, I wish they had done better long-term booking and given him some wins or not put him in certain matches so he doesn't have to be on this losing streak now. And, he'll go down as the guy that lost all these pay-per-views. So, yeah, that's just unfortunate how they've handled Ryback. And, it's their own fault. And nobody to blame but WWE for that one. And as far as Ziggler, a lot of people are criticizing having him lose the title, and in most cases, I'd say it's a bad idea. But I really enjoyed the segment at Payback. I thought it was really well done, and I think Ziggler will get over more now as a babyface than he would have as a heel champion. I think that this will be the beginning of bigger things for Dolph Ziggler as a babyface. Everybody wants to cheer for him anyways. So I think this was the right move. And, Del Rio now as a heel, a full-fledged heel again, I think it was the right move. And I think a Ziggler-Del Rio feud will be really entertaining. So, thumbs up for all of it so far. I really don't have any issues with him losing the title right away because I think he'll get over more in the long run now. This one comes from Mr. Takerman. What did you think of the Divas division? What do you think of the Divas division, and can it be saved? Well, to be honest with you, I've never really been a huge fan of the Divas division, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that WWE hasn't really pushed the Divas as wrestlers very hard. It's always been about the bikini models, and during the Attitude Era, at least they showed a lot of skin. But since they've gone PG, the Divas don't really show that much. So you have a bunch of bikini models, and they're not really showing a lot of skin, and they can't really wrestle. So I mean. I've never been a big fan of it. But, if WWE is serious about turning it around, and, I really did enjoy the segment with AJ and Stephanie and Caitlyn. I thought that was a very good segment. So, yes, it can be saved. I think WWE, perhaps they were motivated by TNA. Maybe people saw that Knockouts match at Slammiversary, and, they want to try to turn things around in the Divas division. I hope they do, because if you can bring in more Divas that can go, I think I would enjoy the Divas division. So, I'm hoping that they'll make improvements and focus more on bringing in talented women who can wrestle and can talk for that matter as well. And the last one today comes from Peter Scott Jones. After the ending of the Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan matchup on Raw, do you think WWE are overdoing the concussion storyline and the medical storylines at the moment? Yes, I do, but I also think it's playing into the whole Vince McMahon Triple H storyline. Triple H and Stephanie are trying to especially Stephanie, she's trying to keep things under control, and Vince McMahon is more about things being chaotic. Although I'm not really, I'm actually a little bit confused about it, because I could have sworn that Vince was the one that wanted the wrestlers to be protected or whatever, but now he likes all the things being out of control. Vicky Guerrero was about to fire the Shield, and Vince said that he likes the Shield because they bring out the ruthless aggression. So I'm a little bit confused with the storyline, but I think this whole concussion thing is it's all tied together with the Vince and Triple H storyline, and the whole power struggle. So we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, I mean, it is a bit ridiculous when you think of all the things that have been done over the years, and you never had the doctors out there. Now all of a sudden they're out there for every little thing. So and I'm sure it's also playing into the whole Daniel Bryan storyline and the thing with him and Randy Orton. But yeah, I wouldn't keep doing these types of segments where the match gets stopped. I think that you'll get a lot of fans upset if you keep doing that. All right, that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQ&AW. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest post-Payback and post-Raw news. What's going to happen with Brock Lesnar. NoDQ.com, your source for everything related to WWE and TNA. See you next time.